Hey, what's up, people? I want you guys to check out a video that I saw of Shirley Ralph on Monique being blackballed from Hollywood. And if you guys are not familiar with Shirley Ralph, she plays the mother on the hit show Moesha. She's been in several movies. I recently saw her. I had to do some work up at Paramount Pictures. I believe that was last year. It wasn't recent, but it was last year. And I got a chance to meet Shirley Ralph, very pleasant woman. A ball of energy. One of my homeboys is up there, Louis Dickinson, real funny dude. You guys are not familiar with him, check him out, Google him, YouTube him, whatever. Real funny dude. But he was up there doing some work too. And when I saw the video, I didn't necessarily disagree with everything that Shirley Ralph was saying, but I didn't necessarily agree with the way she worded certain things, because I felt like, in the video, the two hosts were, asking her certain questions about the whole Monique controversy right now. I felt like she more or less was giving off the message if you have to come out here and tap dance, or you have to kiss a whole bunch of ass in order to be employed as a black actress or a black actor. And I feel like that's not really the right message that needs to be conveyed, especially when they got that camera and that microphone in front of your face. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the whole video. I want you guys to pay attention to the body language of the white host and some of the things they're saying, because they were doing some funny style stuff too, and they were playing into a lot of black negative stereotypes. So pay close attention to this. Listen to every word that was said.
Nothing. She didn't scream. She didn't do nothing. So those things that she told you I did to her, who else was going to love me?
Oh, man,
wow.
She was good in that movie.
Monique won an Oscar in 2010 for that performance impression. This week she told The Hollywood Reporter that since her big Oscar win, she's been blackballed from the business for, quote, not playing the game.
Actress Sheryl Ralph joins us right now. Not playing the game. What does that mean, not playing the game?
Well,
What is the game?
There is obviously a game.
Of course there's a game.
You know it is. When you walk into the room, do people love you? Do they want to give you stuff? Do they want to do things for you? Do they want to give you their money with hopes that they're going to get it back with an interest on the time they spent just handing it over to you? That's part of the game, how you make people feel. But one of the best parts of the game is public relations, baby. Are people talking about you? Well, she's been gone for how many years now? We have been not hearing about her, seeing her, nothing. Right about now, everybody's talking about her, and that's good stuff.
But whose fault is it that we have not seen her? Is she truly blackballed, or just not a role for her? We see plenty of people that have won Oscars that we don't see again for years.
But okay, so now we're talking about this stuff that's like, what happened? What went on? Which lets us know that maybe it's not a big thing, but something happened.
No,
we don't know.
Lee Daniels, the director, said, because he's the one that called her,
Yes.
and said, honey, I got to tell you, you've been blacklisted, because she did not campaign enough for Precious. She won, so the voters found her, but she didn't campaign enough. And then there's a report in there, allegedly, that her husband, who was her manager, might have been out, trying to get too much money for her, outpricing her.
What's interesting about that is she didn't campaign. I wonder, do you think that they would blackball Tom Hanks for not campaigning for a movie? The game is different.
But Tom
for
would campaign
women,
like crazy.
But she didn't. Maybe she was in a state, we don't know what was going on with that person. She might have been in a state of her mind where she said, I cannot go out there and do this with all these people without causing harm to myself. We don't know what was going on in her mind.
Now, if you guys saw my video yesterday about Monique, I mentioned that. I said in my video that a lot of times, these people have to go out here, you have to put on a smile, you have to talk to people, you have to, deal with certain press, and people want to be compensated for, their time and energy. That stuff is a job when you're out there promoting and marketing a certain project that you're doing. So I do agree with what she's saying right there, because it is a job. When you're going out there promoting, that stuff is not, no easy walk in the park. You have to go out there and you have to be personable, because if you're not, people are not going to want to check out the movie.
Yep. But what has happened since then? What is sort
Nothing.
of with Monique? But is she
Nothing.
difficult? There's rumors about her being difficult. But plenty of actors, I would think.
Maybe she is. A whole lot of actors are difficult. There are a whole lot of actors who are mean and terrible, but they work all the time. It goes back to who likes you? Who wants to be in your kind of crazy company? Who wants to give you money in hopes they'll get something back on the return of your madness? And sometimes you just need to shut up, sit there, and look pretty. But it's the truth. That's part of the game, too.
Have you ever done that?
No, I've never done that. I've never played well at that. But I think this is a setup for a comeback. Now, when she comes back, she better be as tiny as you. She better have the biggest...
Really?
Oh,
She
absolutely. She doesn't need to be Monique anymore because obviously what she was did not work. So she better come back brand new.
You see, now, I don't like what she just said right there. I think Monique needs to be herself. I think she needs to be the Monique that got her to where she is right now, because when you start going in a direction that is not you, you lose not only who you are as a person, but you lose yourself within the entertainment industry. And it's very easy to get sidetracked and lose who you are in the entertainment industry, because you constantly have people that are trying to make you be something you're not, or basically sell you out to your own people.
That's what they're waiting for. And if a big-time producer says to you, you have been blackballed, what he is really doing is looking at you and saying, you ain't never working with me again.
We need music while you're talking.
Right? I love it. I feel like I want to be like, oh, yeah.
Look. You saw that?
Any of this
You saw what the white girl just did? Playing into black stereotypes, as if every time we speak something or we have passion towards something, we got to start dancing and entertaining people. Check that out.
Producer says to you, you have been blackballed. What he is really doing is looking at you and saying, you ain't never working with me again.
We need music while you're talking.
Right? I love it. I feel like I want to be like, oh, yeah.
Check it out.
Is any of this race-driven, or is this just about talent? Is this not enough roles there? What is it?
You know something? There's always a difference when you add color to it, always. When I was a little girl, my mother used to say to me, you are going to have to work twice as hard for a half a chance. You are going to have to win that marathon 5 times before they give you the award. So that has always been true. But in this case, maybe it's just a case of timing. She was not in the right headspace. Maybe she was heading down a dark road. Maybe she had some of the wrong people around her, and it wasn't the position to jettison her from that Oscar. But maybe it's all working itself out in the comeback for Monique.
Yes.
Come on back, girl.
She obviously upset Lee Daniels, who was the director of Precious, because Monique says she lost out on roles in The Butler, also directed by Lee Daniels, who clearly loves her and cast her beautifully in Precious. And then she says she lost out on Empire, which is also Lee Daniels.
My new favorite show.
It seems to me that Lee is saying, when blackballed by the Hollywood community, it's blackballed by Lee.
Well, let me tell you, when someone like that looks at you and says you have been blackballed, what they're probably saying is, I will not be working with you anytime soon.
Celebrated me, and Lee is big and powerful.
Lee is big,
but the
right
talent is there. I mean,
Well, he ain't too powerful, because if he was that damn powerful, he would have said the hell with y'all. If Monique is a person that I want in this movie, that's who I'm going to have in this movie. But like I said before, we know how Lee Daniels gets down. He's going to tap dance for white Hollywood. Let's keep it real.
Original Big Daddy.
the talent is there. I would think there have to be other roles that she would get and soar in, because she's such an unbelievable actor.
Do you see a whole lot of roles for somebody who looks like the Monique we have seen in the past, unless you are Precious?
Okay, I'm figuring this out. Remember the Butler was actually called Lee Daniels, the Butler?
Yeah.
I think Lee has a big ego.
No, you know what?
Lee Daniels, the Butler, and you need to kiss the ring of Lee, and maybe she did not kiss the ring of Lee.
That could be a big part of it, but I think Lee Daniels, the Butler, had to do with something for the fact that there was a silent movie called The Butler, and the only way to get The Butler in the title was to make it Lee Daniels, the Butler, because then it was no longer going to be confused with The Butler, which anyway, that's a whole nother backstory. But my point is,
She's so cute.
sometimes you must kiss the ring.
Right.
Sometimes you must be as nice as you can for as long as you can, for as many people as you can, because the same butt you kick today, you may have to kiss tomorrow. And if it turns around and says, ha-ha, I got the ring on, are you ready?
I am very ashamed of what I did to get this job.
I kissed the
I
ring.
did more than kiss the ring.
Kissing the ring.
Well, I kissed the ring, but you wouldn't want to know her anyway.
Uh-oh, what it was.
Sheryl! Loud with Brian Sappy coming up. We're going to discuss Eddie Murphy, with whom you worked in 1992. He turned down playing Cosby on the SNL reunion.
Okay, so you guys heard what had to be said, and you know, like I said, I get the overall message that, you know, Shirley Ralph was trying to convey, but I didn't necessarily agree with how she was doing it, because she was basically saying that, you know, as a black actress, especially when, you know, you have certain characteristics as Monique, you have to come out here, you have to, you know, buck dance, coon, kiss a whole bunch of ass in order to have you know, a chance and an opportunity in Hollywood. And I don't think that's the right way to go. First of all, I think that more black directors, we need to start doing what, you know, Spike Lee did back in the day, and, you know, what Tyler Perry is doing right now. Get your own studio. You're making millions of dollars from these movies. You fund your own stuff. It's cool to go out and, you know, try to get finances from production studios, but at the same time, you put in that contract that there's a limited of say-so they're going to have towards the project. There's ways you can get around it. It's just about business, and it's about having the right conscience. But I just think that we need our own stuff. We need more black independent films, which is the way that a lot of black movies are getting made nowadays, because these mega, you know, companies, whether you're talking about Sony, Paramount, Universal, etc., they don't want to fund a lot of black movies. They want to fund certain black movies. With us, basically, it either has to be one, we clown around, or it's a comedy, or it's a romantic comedy. That's why you only see those type of movies in the mainstream, or it's just us basically cooning. We don't see those movies, you know, that Spike Lee used to do, that had a message behind it, or talk about things that were going on in society. So I just think that we need our own, man. That's really what it comes down to. We gotta have, you know, those black directors, you know, male or female, to really step up and come together, and we need to start getting our own stuff. That way we don't have to deal with a lot of this bullshit that's out here in Hollywood and playing the quote-unquote game, or dealing with the politics of Hollywood in the entertainment industry. But, you know, that's my 2 cents on, you know, like I said, I don't totally disagree with Shirley Ralph. I had an issue with how she conveyed it in the interview. But you guys give me your feedback on it. I'm out.